This is a little tutorial on how I put together our pennant plaques. I got two triangles here that we're using. One of them is going to be the base for when I put it in my CNC program. And then one is actually going to be the top that we layer. So what we want to do is we want to come over here first and we want to copy this and paste it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to resize this to what we think is going to be a decent outline or line here, so it's not too weak. I've already got our name and our team's logo, and we got some generic clip art from the internet. So what we're going to do is we're going to come in here. So what we need to do is we need to weld these the clip art and the name or the team name into this area right here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to come down here. We're going to do the Nicholas first. We're going to size it the way we want. Like all this is going to be cut on a laser. So we're going to double click. Too much. We're going to click till we get these little arrows here, and we're going to rotate it to the angle we need it. So we can come up here. We're going to keep rotating until what we can do is we can take this and we can move it up, get a nice little edge on inside the line there. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the second triangle that we had and we're going to group it. We're going to hit shift and we're going to click both of them, and then we're going to go up here and hit back minus front. So now that makes that one object. So now I can come back to this, and what we're going to do is we're going to click the Nicholas, click the triangle, and we're going to hit weld, and that's going to weld the Nicholas into the triangle. So now I also have the team logo that needs to go in here. So we're going to take that, we're going to come over here, and we're going to do the same thing with the team logo. Actually, you know what? Let's go back and let's make the Nicholas a little smaller, and let's move it down a little bit so we got plenty of room for the logo and everything else we got to have on here. Alright, so before we weld that, we're just going to go ahead and move this over, and we're going to go with the NC. We're going to move this down. We're going to readjust. Move it down. See, this is what we want. We want plenty of room for the name and the number once we get that going. So we want, all right, so that should be pretty good. So let's do that. And now we can go in here. Now we'll select it all and we'll weld. All right, so now we're going to weld this. And then we're going to come back here and we're going to do the same with this. We're going to weld it. We're going to select the NC. We're going to select the triangle. We're going to weld. Now all that when it cuts is going to cut out single or together, and that way when you go to put it on top of the base here, it'll be easier to handle. So now we're going to come over here. We're going to take our softball player and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to find edges that we can use, and we're going to, which this softball player might not be the best. Let's see if we can find a different one here that we might want to use. Let's see. Let's try the catcher. Just got to make sure we got plenty of room, like I said, for the name, and still we got to get something a little better than that. We want it, the baseball one, if you look at the baseball, it's sort of a straight up and down logo, so it gives us plenty of room for the name. So let's see if we can find a different softball player. This is a website called VectEasy. I got a paid membership. If you want to pay for a membership, you can use these. They do have some free ones. All right, so I found a better softball player. We're going to bring it in here. We're going to line it up the way we want it. I want to make sure I get a little bit of that face mask. That way you know it's definitely a softball player, so you don't want to go up too high. I might rotate that just a tad. And then put that. And then if you see here when we weld that, it's going to have some. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take these. We're going to double click on your image. Oops, let me get back to my image here. Double click on it. We're going to go up here, double click. You see these nodes right here? We're going to take those out. I actually, and by the way, I'm working in Corel. So if anybody is in a different program, some of these things might be different, but most are about the same. So then I'm just going to take and move this there. I know it distorts it, but you're not going to see it anyway. So then I'm going to come back up here. I'm going to, of course, click the player, click the triangle, and hit weld. And now all that is one piece again. Now you see that there? That's we really don't need that. I mean, yeah, that's shoestring, but that's just a spot we really don't need to cut on the laser. We're going to leave the face mask there. Got the bat. And then all we need to do now is come down here. We'll take our name. We'll fit this right in here. Don't need the last name. So we're going to try to center that up as good as possible. And then we're going to put a number in here. Go back to the font that we're using, which I like Impact because it's thick and it cuts easy. And we're going to line this up with the name. So we'll hit Shift, select the name, and hit C, and that centers it to the name. Then, after you're done, you can bring this part here, which is the back part of the banner. And it's going to, of course, it is going to take a little bit of the player away again, but that's just what has to happen. So we're going to hit E. We're going to line that up. I'm going to try to bring this forward as much as possible, or bring this and line it up as much as possible. Oop, too much. And that lines that up. Now, when we do that, we're going to select the triangle again. We're going to hit weld. And now we have a completed design for our softball player. We got Leah 21 school logo. You can either put the high school team name here. You can put, you could put the team logo or the nickname, Lady Jackets. You could do any kind of different stuff. You could also, put something here if you wanted. But now the only thing that's not connected is the Leah, which is what we want because we're going to line that up when we put everything together. We have the base, which we'll make in our other program, which I'm not going to show you that. If you want to learn how to do Carbide Create, Carbide Motion, that kind of stuff, there's plenty of videos out there to learn how to do that, so we're not going to worry about that. And then what I would do is on this, I would take and I would go to File, I would export that, and I would name this, we'll say Leah, and we'll export it as a DXF, which is a cuttable file, and then we'll hit export and hit OK. And now we put that into our light burn, send that over to our computer or our laser, and it will cut just like that. So watch the other channel, which is Hypothetical Elephant, if you want to see the finished product.